Yo, what's going on, man? Today is January the 17th, 2024. It's your boy Chris, and this is the ChrisBeCappinn NBA show. I'm live on Twitter, also live on YouTube as well. Do me a favor as you guys join. Hit the like button for me if you can. It's greatly appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already, and definitely turn the notification bell on so you guys do know when I go live. A lot of people in the comment section already, and I appreciate that. Appreciate people for pulling up early. Rob Matic, Ain't That Devin, Kenneth, Cac Reacts, Tasha. Good evening to you, Kenneth, and Brian. Let's get to it. Winning Wednesdays. We are here to do just that. Yesterday, quick recap. Yesterday, I gave out. I gave out. I didn't give out any plays on the show, but for the members on YouTube, I gave out Philly first quarter, which was a loser. I gave out Philly full game, which was a winner. And I gave out Philly and Denver under 260 and a half at the end of the third quarter, thinking that the pace would slow down. It definitely did. We saw Denver turn the ball over a lot, missed a bunch of shots as well. So we ended up getting that back. And then we also had a two-leg money line parlay that was the two favorites in the late games, which ended up being the Clippers. I talked about liking the Clippers a lot yesterday. Probably should have got there with them against the spread. And then also the Phoenix Suns, who came back down, I think it was 19 points in the fourth quarter, to beat the Sacramento Kings yesterday in a stunning win. But yeah, that cashed as well. So we actually been up. We up right now on the week. Things are going well. Not gonna jinx it. Just kind of keep my head down and keep grinding. So we have a ton of games today, so we're just gonna jump right into it. Like I said, you could do me a favor. I know a lot of people join late. Hit the like button for me if you can. We're gonna jump right into it for today. So first game up, we are going to the streets of Detroit. So Detroit Pistons are getting 12 points as home dogs. And this team has actually been playing a little bit better recently. We know that they got a win, outright win against the Washington Wizards the other day, just a couple games ago. And then I'm trying to get to my notes for this game real quick. And then also they covered against Houston the game before when I was on them in that game as well. So looking at the spot for them here, let's see if I can find it. I don't even see it. So I think the biggest thing in this game, just getting straight to it, the biggest thing in this game for me is Anthony Edwards being, listed as questionable. Not sure, not 100% sure if he's going to play or not. The hip contusion or the knee contusion, I think turned into knee tendonitis. It's an away game. I don't think that they necessarily need him in this spot. He is still listed as questionable. I'm not sure if he plays. If he doesn't play, the Detroit Pistons will get the players that they traded for. They should make their return. Also, Bojan Bogdanovic is listed as probable for this game. He did miss their last game in DC. So while Minnesota can come in and absolutely clean this team up, I'm not sure if they feel like they really need to win this game by margin. Detroit's been a little more feisty lately. Crazy to think that I would, be taking points with Detroit, but they have won. They covered 2 straight games without KB in there, and they don't have a game tomorrow. They do have a game tomorrow, but they play against. They don't have a game tomorrow. I'm sorry, they don't have a game tomorrow. They're actually about to start a homestand. They play the Bucks 2 times coming up to end the week. Whereas Minnesota, they got a game tomorrow back at home in Memphis. So I don't know if they necessarily need to cover. I think if you like Detroit, you probably want to get in early. Typically, their offense can be a little stagnant late. We'll see what the additions are. It wasn't a game I felt extremely comfortable with. I do kind of lean towards the under because the Timberwolves don't score as much on the road as they do at home. Their offense typically falls off a cliff sometimes, even though Detroit's defense has not been necessarily the greatest. And I do think that Minnesota can come in here, play a slow-paced game, especially if Anthony Edwards doesn't play, and get out here with a win. I'm not sure if it's going to be by double digits or not, though. So those are my thoughts. What are you guys thinking in the chat? What's up, Jamie? Brian says that underlook last night was a great comeback. Yeah, I needed that. I needed that after the first quarter didn't cash. Godin says Twitter is lagging. I'm not sure why. I'm connected to Wi-Fi. What's up, Matthew? What's up, Hude? Tasha says Detroit usually score over 111 team 111 points team total. I like over 104 team total at home. Yeah, I would agree with that, Tasha. I think looking at the Timberwolves this season, specifically on the road, their defense is not as great, which is one of the reasons why I'm not laying points with them. On the road, they're giving up 111 points per game. In the last they have held three of their last four opponents under their team total. But I mean, in two of them, they didn't even allow 96 points. That was against the Magic, though, and against the Rockets. The Magic game thing came after the loss to the Celtics. No, it was before the Celtics. So I'm not sure. I do think, however you decide to get involved, more power to you. Not a game that I'm really high on. I'm with you, Ken. If he says pass, Kayak React says Alex Burke over his 17.5 points, rebounds, and assists. He has been the guy that's been stepping up. They do get Boyan back in this spot, so that could limit his usage just a little bit. But if you love it, absolutely play it, Kayak. Sounds like it's going in and out. I'm not sure what's going on with Twitter. Let me see if I mute myself and maybe unmute. Now let me know if y'all can hear me on Twitter now. I'm not sure what's going on Twitter. Do you have any first quarter plays? Jamie's asking. No, I do not. I don't have any first quarters. I got one that I'm looking at, but not anything that I locked in. First quarters have not been good to me. Probably the most unprofitable market for me to bet so far this season. So I do not. Jamie, Go Young DJ says during double in the Mavs money line. I can see Duren getting the double. It's a little bit harder against Rudy Gobert, but I mean, this dude's a man's child. He's a man child for sure. Wolves money line and Jalen Duren double. What's the odds on that? Go Young DJ. I'm interested. I think that's a pretty good play. Let's keep moving on. Let's go Bucks. Let's go Cavs. So this line was actually opened at 4. It got bet up to, or opened at 4, 3.5. Got bet up to 4.5. Then you see the money come back in on the Cleveland Cavaliers in this spot. Line down to 4 now. Total come down from 238 down to 236.5. It looks like it's the consensus as well. And I agree with both. I think it's an under type game. I also think that it is it's a Cavs spot. I think the Cavs cannot just cover this game. I think the Cavs can outright win this game. So for Milwaukee, it's the first road game for them after a 4 straight home game, after a 4-game home stand. De'Aaron Fox hit that game winner. Damian Lillard hit the game winner on De'Aaron Fox on Sunday. And this team has actually failed to cover their last 2 games, and they've only covered 3 of their last 10 as well. The defense has still been really bad, whether they're at home or on the road. Looking at Cleveland, this team has been hot. They've won 5 straight games and covered 4 of their last 5. Head-to-head, you do get a revenge factor for Cleveland as well. They lost, and I think we were on Cleveland in that spot in the last game when they were at home. They lost that game 119 to 111 as 5-point dogs. They literally just couldn't make a shot from outside. So I think we see some regression in this spot. Cleveland has been shooting the ball pretty well recently, and I think they can continue to do that, especially against the Milwaukee Bucks defense. It's not really that great in my eyes. So no team either really has a look-ahead spot. I know that the Milwaukee is a little rested, and that shot that Damian Lillard hit could potentially propel this team in this spot. But I like Cleveland in this spot. Milwaukee, they failed to cover their last 3 road games and 4 of their last 6 road games as well. It is a short point spread, but like I said, I think, and I actually see a 3.5 popping up. So this money's still coming in on Cleveland in this spot. Last 5 game stats say that both teams are top 10 offensively. Cleveland is the better defensive rated team. I think they're number 1 defensively. The Bucks are ranked 22nd. Cleveland is also the second best rebounding team, while the Bucks are 12th. And Cleveland is also the 5th best 3-point defense. And the Bucks like to shoot a lot of threes. Giannis likes to get into the paint and kick it out, while Milwaukee's 3-point defense is 20th. So Cavs +4 would be my top look in this game. If you're scared of that, I think you could potentially look towards the Cavs on the team total to go over. But even I think the full game goes under, though, just because I do think the Cavs can slow down this Milwaukee Bucks team. We'll see. Cavs +4 would be my top look in this game. Staying off player props, but I couldn't talk anybody off Donovan Mitchell. If I was going to do a stars would be stars parlay, we'll talk about it a little bit later because I do have some guys written down for stars would be stars parlay. I'd definitely be looking at Donovan Mitchell in this spot. Let's see. Kenneth says got the under 237.5. I like it. Brian says took Cavs first half and full game. Kenneth says Cleveland only given up 99 points, 99.8 points their last 2 weeks at home. I would agree. I know I got on the Bulls in their most recent game, thinking that them being in London was going to be a phase spot. This team is, JB Bickerstaff's doing some really good stuff with this team, and they're all kind of locked in, even without Evan Mobley and without Darius Garland. I didn't expect it to be like this. Bucks team total under. I think the Bucks team total under is the right play. I absolutely do. I would agree. S-Dot says, damn, I'm late. What up, Chris? You know where we are cashing. Yeah, you're talking about the Heat game. I think that game's about to come up. And Malik says LeVert points is intriguing, thinking he gets the volume tonight. So LeVert name did pop up on the injury report. If for people who don't know, and also for Milwaukee, they do get Jamison Crowder. They do get Jay Crowder back as well. So the injury status for Karis LeVert, I think, is pretty interesting. They definitely will need him. I think they need his offense, his ball handling, his playmaking, but we'll see how it goes. Cleveland plus the 4 will be my top look in the game, though. Dante says Cavs first half he likes. What's up, JT? Appreciate you for tapping in as well. Let's keep going. We got a ton of more games to get to. Next game, we got the Heat and we got the Raptors. Game will be played in Toronto tonight. The Raptors are now 3.5 point home dogs. Line didn't really move that much. It opened at 1 at 2. It came down. Money came in on the Raptors. It went down to 1.5. Then Pascal Siakam got traded, of course. I'm pretty sure everybody knows that. He was the only one that got traded, along with some draft picks. I think it was draft picks. And the line only moved 2 points. I would have think that Siakam means a little bit more to the line than the 2 points that it moved. The total came down from 228 to 225. I was actually looking to play the over in this spot, but this was a game. And I've been saying this for a while now. These teams that we know could potentially, have players on their team that are looking to, make trades. The Chicago Bulls, the Atlanta Hawks, this Toronto Raptors team, all of the teams that are in these trade rumors, I think is really, really smart to wait until, right before game time to kind of decide whether, what's going to happen with these players. So if you got on, depending on what side you got on, you could have potentially got a lot worse number in this game, and Siakam getting traded is huge news. So for Miami, Kevin Love is still out, and Jaime Jaquez Jr. is still out as well. Toronto also had Gary Trent Jr. Listed as questionable. He's dealing with the flu. I'm not sure if he went through shoot around or not, but I know he's listed as questionable. And Jakob Poeltl is still out as well. So I think his name is I can't remember his first name. Jonte Porter, I think is his name. He'll be starting at the center position against Bam Adebayo, who should absolutely feast tonight against him. We talked about this the other day. The Raptors don't have any interior presence at all, which is why I think if Miami wanted to get out and run in this spot, I think they absolutely can. Two conflicting things in this game. First of all, the spot for Miami. 3rd game in 4 nights, 4th game in 6 nights. With their last game going to overtime as well, they did beat Brooklyn by 1 point, 1 or 2 points, I think, in that game. This team has played really, really good, though. Top 5 defensive rated team. They've won 3 in a row. They just got Jimmy Butler back, so I'm not sure how much the overtime is going to impact him as much. On the Toronto side, this team has lost 4 straight games. They failed to cover their last 2. Second game back home after that long 6-game road trip that they had out west. And it's the first leg of a back-to-back with Chicago Bulls at home tomorrow. So Toronto got a lot going on outside of the Siakam trade. Head-to-head, Miami did beat them 112-103 in Toronto back on December the 6th as 3.5-point dogs. And that game went under the 219.5. So you see the total come up, but Siakam's been traded. I had some interesting queries that I kind of looked at that supported the Raptors. Of course, this was before the Siakam news. And then I also had some stuff that I was looking at for the Miami side as well, specifically the Raptors being Miami being in one of those spots where 8 of their last 10 games have actually been on the road. So I do lean Heat. The Heat don't typically win by margin on the road, but I think it's a Heat spot, especially with Bam Adebayo. Miami's getting that while they are not necessarily the healthiest team because you're missing Kevin Love, you're missing Jaime Jaquez Jr. I think it's a Heat spot. I think they can win the game by multiple possessions if it comes down to it. RJ Barrett's going to want to play hard. This team, not necessarily a fate of the Raptors. It's more so a fate of the Raptors interior defense. I think Bam could absolutely eat, and he probably could potentially get a triple double in this game just because they're gonna have to double him the way I'm looking at the game. And I think we know what Spoelstra does. He always takes advantage of the matchup. He'll find a way for this team to come out of Toronto with a win, in my estimation. So I still lean Heat minus the 3.5. Didn't play it. And I lean towards probably Miami team total over. I think it's 113.5, 114.5 would probably be the best look to stay away from the spread. We know that the Raptors have been playing a lot faster recently, and I don't think it slows down in this spot, especially without any kind of big man. I think that they're going to try to push the ball, try not to let the Miami Heat set up their half-court defense. So those are my thoughts there. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. This is a pretty good look. I would agree. Durante says Scotty Barnes double-double. Scotty Barnes got the key to the house, to the car, to the woodshed out back. Like, it's really his team now. Him, RJ Barrett, Emmanuel Quickly. Yes, his usage should go through the roof. I'm not sure who's going to have the most usage of those three guys, but I could definitely see it being Scotty Barnes for sure. Pascal did go to Indiana. Brian, yep. Scotty Barnes double-double. Let's see. Taylor says Bruce Brown and draft picks. Yep. Coop says he's rolling the dice with Scotty Barnes. Points, rebounds, and assists over 33.5. He says Siakam trade means this is officially his team. That's what I said, and I think he will be up to the task. Yeah. The problem with that, though, in this spot, though, Coop, is that you don't really get if it gets a terrible defense, I probably would be on Scotty Barnes in this spot as well. But Miami has been top 5 defensively. We'll see how it goes. DJ says Raptors better today than the start of the season. Probably not tonight. Maybe I don't know why Toronto couldn't put it together. I like their team. They just didn't have enough offense. I'm not sure what it was, but I actually like that Toronto Raptors team before they broke everybody up. OG Anunoby, Scotty Barnes, Pascal Siakam. I was a fan of all of those guys individually. Collectively, not as much. I'm not sure, DJ. Kenneth says he likes the under, but didn't quite get there. Kayak React says Heat first half. They have been a wagon on the road specifically and at home as well in the first half. Orlando Beast, he likes Scotty Barnes double-double as well. Estai says line makers were thinking about the travel spot and no Jaime Jaquez Jr. and potentially Love. Jimmy is now on his second game back. Last game he looked like a spring chicken. Orlando says Miami money line. Estai says Tyler also needed a game like that for his well-being. Estai likes the Heat first and full game, -1.5 and -3.5. Hero over his points plus rebounds, and Bam over rebounds, and Bam over his points plus rebounds. 1 unit on each for Estai. DJ Props letting me know that the audio still keeps skipping on Twitter. I'm not sure what's going on either. Tasha likes Miami first half as well. Matthew says he likes the Raptors today. You got to let me know why you like the Raptors with them having less, especially without Pascal. I would have think that you like the Raptors before the Pascal news. And I'm not sure what's going on Twitter, man. I would just say this. If you guys can hear me on Twitter, jump over to YouTube. The link is in my last tweet that's posted. I don't want to restart Twitter spaces just because I know sometimes people can't find that. So I would just say jump over on Twitter if you guys can. Definitely jump over on Twitter if you guys can. So let's keep going. Next game up, we got Magic and we got Hawks. Magic and Hawks. So Magic are this game is pretty interesting to me. A lot of people probably not gonna like this, but this line opened for Atlanta. Atlanta was actually laying 2.5, and it's moved up to 4.5 at some spots, but the total coming all the way down from 236.5 down to 229. So you see 7 points come down, which is absolutely crazy in any kind of Atlanta Hawks game. But they have been playing a little bit better defense. They have been playing a little slower as well. And for Orlando, it kind of makes sense because we've been talking about this for a while now. Franz Wagner is still out for this Orlando Magic team. Although they will get some of those guys back. Wendell Carter Jr., I think, is set to play. Markelle Fultz is also supposed to play in this game. This team still has not been able to really score the ball. We saw them struggle against the Knicks the other day in the Garden. That game went well under the total. In Atlanta, they're a much more healthier team in this spot for me, in my eyes. So the spot for Orlando, I think, is why I want to fade them. It's really difficult laying points with Atlanta. I totally understand that. This is not a team that not for the faint of heart laying points with the Atlanta Hawks, but I do think it's a Hawk spot. The Hawks at home as a favorite this season, not great. 6-7 straight up, just 3-10 against the spread. So 23% of the time they've actually been covering the spread, losing those games by about 3 points. But we see them get a win against the San Antonio Spurs the other day, laying 8.5 points. Like I said, it really just doesn't line up for Orlando in this spot specifically for me. This is their 4th game in 6 days, all on the road, coming off a hard-fought win against the Knicks. They're actually 7-3 to the under in their last 10 games and 5 straight unders. And that's because their offense has really become pretty one-dimensional outside of, Paolo trying to do everything that he possibly can to keep this team, above water. I just think that Atlanta has a little bit more firepower in this game. It is the 5th game in 8 nights for Atlanta, but they haven't had to travel anywhere. I saw Trae Young. If anybody got a chance to watch, TNT and watch the game last night, he was on the set with not Charles Barkley, with Shaq and Jamal Crawford. So I was looking for some insight into the game. I didn't really catch much, but I would wait until the last possible minute just to make sure, because Atlanta, like I said, Atlanta got a lot of people on the trade block. I will wait until the last minute and play Atlanta minus the 4. Maybe get in and get out with them in the first half, but I do think it's Atlanta spot. The couple things I looked at was teams that are playing their 4th straight road game, and their dogs, and in the divisional game, because this is divisional as well, and you're also playing your 3rd game if you're also playing your 4th game in 6 nights. Like I said, since the start of the 2020 season, those teams are 1-11 straight up, 4-7-1 against the spread. So that's a 36.4% trend. It says fade the Orlando Magic tonight. Another interesting query I looked at was in divisional games, if you're playing against an opponent that has a lesser win percentage than you do, so you have the team that we would think should be favored. Orlando should be favored in this spot. They're not. And those teams are playing as a home favorite off a previous home game since the start of the 2019 season. Those teams are 66-25 straight up, 58-32-1 against the spread. That's 64% that says to take the Atlanta Hawks today and later 4 points. And that query actually gets stronger as well if you look at teams that are in a revenge spot. So same thing, divisional game. You're a home favorite, but you don't have the better of the win percentages, and you've also played your last game at home. In revenge games, those teams are 27-8 straight up, 25-10 against the spread. 71.4% says that Atlanta Hawks not just win, but they cover the number as well. I know it's an ugly play, but I only look towards the Atlanta Hawks in this game. I just think that the Magic could potentially run out of gas in this spot. Just a bad travel spot from here. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. Siakam is going to be fun to watch in Indiana. I would agree there. Let's see. David says, don't come in without hitting the thumbs up. I appreciate that, David. Definitely hit the like button for me if you guys can. Smokey Steam Bets is on the opposite side. He says he's on the Magic plus 4.5. Can't trust the Hawks as a favorite. That's the Magic's role. That is true. They did win against the Knicks the other day, but something tells me they can run out of gas here. If I'm playing a game, I am taking the 4.5 with the Hawks, and I don't think I bet on the Hawks at home so far. I really like the numbers, and I think it's pretty telling that they open as a favorite. The line moves with them. That's pretty interesting, right? Why isn't the Orlando should be the public dog of the day is what I feel, but the line's going the opposite way. So I do think the sharp play is the Hawks. Crazy as it sounds, Hawks minus 4 would be the way I'm playing the game. Let's see. Brian says I'm on first half full game. He's talking to S. Let's see. Arthur, I am with you on this. I was going to mention this, and I'll just mention it now. Arthur says condolences to the Golden State Warriors family. Yeah, for the people who don't know, I'm pretty sure a lot of people know, but the game did get postponed in Utah tonight. What I was reading was one of the assistant coaches. The team was out at dinner last night, and one of the assistant coaches had to be rushed to the emergency room. and I'm not sure what it was, but it was he was in critical condition. He did end up passing earlier today, but they canceled the game before. So yeah, condolences to Golden State family, to his family back home. I think he was from Serbia, and to everybody that that knew him or was close to him. I'm pretty sure he'd been coaching and played for a while. So yeah, definitely condolences to the Golden State Warriors assistant coach. That's really really tough. It's way bigger than basketball. Losing your life, especially unexpectedly like that. I would agree with that. Jumping back into this, David says he likes Paolo and DeJounte to go over their points. They love to lock horns every time. Shout out to Seattle. It's a fact, David. I forgot about that. The Seattle thing. Those guys do typically go at each other. Also, the Atlanta Hawks are one of the worst teams in the league at allowing points to the power forward position. So Paolo could absolutely go crazy. And I know he's been struggling recently, but he hasn't played. He's been playing against really good defensive teams. If you go back and look at the track record, they just played against the Knicks, against the Timberwolves. So yeah, I would look at Paolo in this matchup, especially if the pace gets moving up and down a little bit. But I think with the total dropping down, I could only look towards the over in this spot, even though I would definitely not play the over. I just think we lost too many points of value with it coming down 7 points. But like I said, without Franz, this team is, I want to say 5-1 to the under or 6-0 to the under. I haven't looked recently, but I know that they haven't gone over and their offense has really, really struggled as well. So like I said, I lean Hawks minus the 4. Dante says Hawks -2 first half. Divisional opponents playing within 10 days. In the last game was an overtime loss, and they are now home favorites. 6-0 straight up, 5-1 against the spread. That is actually even more support for this Atlanta Hawks team. Dante, I like that. I like that a lot. I'm gonna look a little more into that. I might need to fact check you on that. Jamie says he's staying off of the game. We got DeJounte for 20. Yeah, cardiac arrest is what they're saying. Oh man, that is not good at all. Giannis is ruled out. Hold on, what? Giannis got ruled out? Hold on, when? Wait, hold on. I see. This is why it's difficult to do a show at this time. I know he got ruled out because my guy just hit me with the message. I know this is what he was talking about. Giannis shoulder listed as out. Yeah, give me Cavs plus the 4, plus the 3.5. Definitely shop around, see where you can find the best number. I hadn't even placed the bet yet. Let me check it. Let me check it real quick. I'll let you guys know where you can get the best number if you guys have access to the sports book. Plus 3.5 looks like it's still available. This doesn't make sense on BetMGM. BetMGM typically one of the faster moving sports books, but I already liked it with Giannis in. That's probably wrong. I'm pretty sure it's not plus 3.5 anymore. It actually is plus 3.5. Yeah, give me the plus 3.5. I'm not even sure when the news came out. Give me the plus 3.5 though. I'm betting it right now. Cavs plus 3.5. No Giannis, no Bucks for me. Y'all bear with me. Sorry for the dead airtime. I gotta make this bet though. This is why I've been waiting too. Makes a lot of sense to wait these days. All right, yeah, I'm in. I got in. Cavs plus 3.5 for me. Let's see. One more thing, real quick. Hopefully, people can get it in. I hate sending out bets like this with breaking news, but I already like the Cavs, so I am going to send this over to the members as well. Really, really quickly. Cavs plus 3.5. Anthony Edwards will play. I see that came out. Oh man. I need a producer. Somebody that can help me. Yeah, I did jump on the Cavs just now. Thank you for that, Jamie. I appreciate that. Vaughn says Giannis, Derek White, and Porting is all ruled out. Who is Porter? Who else got ruled out? It's difficult to do a show at this time of the day, man. Let's see. All right, so let's go through this breaking news real quick. So Ant is in, Giannis is out, Derek White is out, Jrue Holiday is in, Porzingis is out. So that Spurs line gotta be going down too. Down to 15. Total going up to 239. Which makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense. Okay. Yeah, I mean, if you like the Spurs, you probably definitely should be hopping on them as well. The Bucks game is down to a pick 'em as well. It's crazy they just pulled Giannis out at the last second, but it is what it is. Shout out to my guy Burns as well. Some VA love in here. What up, Burns? Hope you're doing well, my brother. Markel says, "What's up, bro? I'm on Cavs full game and first half." Before Giannis got ruled out, he liked the Lakers money line and Anthony Davis points and the Magic money line. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, the spread dropping really, really quick. Dropped to 1 without Giannis. Yeah, I locked it in. I definitely locked it in, Coop. Twitter is messing up. If you guys can hear me on Twitter, man, click on the link in the YouTube and just come over to YouTube. I'm not sure what's going on with Twitter right now. What else? Steven, I got 3.5 on BetMGM, which is crazy because BetMGM actually one of the faster moving books. Looks like you can get Cavs at 3.5 at Sports Illustrated. They're also another really, really slow moving book. I know I talk about them being a slow moving book all the time. Pretty sure they probably still got a 3.5. I'm not double dipping, but I do want to check real quick because it's always interesting to me how quick some of these books can move the number. How some of them like lock it up. How some of them don't. Like they just almost like they sleep. So right now you can still get. Let's see. You can still get a 3.5 with the Cavs on Sports Illustrated if you guys have access to it. This is why you have to download all the sports books. You need every single sports book that you possibly can get. Let's see. What else? Cavs game is going down to a pick 'em, Burn says. Let's see. MGM took it off now. Definitely check. All your sports books. A lot of the books got it locked up. FanDuel just opened with the Cavs laying 1. I think you just take Cavs on the money line. Like if they're gonna win the game, I think they're gonna win the game. And I gave you guys the numbers already. What's up, Fear Elite? Appreciate you for dropping in as well. I'm not sure what's going on with the spaces. I do apologize. I don't think it's me. I think it's just Twitter. MGM has 4.5. Not sure. I saw that as well, Ted. I thought I was tripping just now. BetMGM has plus 4.5 for the Cleveland Cavaliers. The line went the opposite way with Giannis being rolled out. I don't understand it. I do not understand it. All right, cool. Let's jump back into the games, man. Next game up, we got Rockets and we got Knicks. So I didn't see anything about Jalen Brunson, who, without knowing Jalen Brunson's status, I think this game is pretty unplayable for me. I know it's a phase spot of the Houston Rockets. I definitely wasn't thinking about playing Houston, especially after watching them in their most recent game against the Philadelphia 76ers. They got absolutely dismantled in that game. So looking at this game from a spots perspective, it's definitely a fade of the Rockets. And I don't play the Knicks, right? I talked about not playing the Knicks for 2 weeks. I happened to play the Knicks one time. What do? They wet the bed against the Dallas Mavericks without Luka Doncic. So I'm not on the Knicks in this spot, but it does line up for a Knicks spot if you were going to play anything. Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart are both listed as questionable. For Houston, 6-game and final game of a road trip. They haven't covered on the road trip at all, and they're only 1-5 straight up. And their win came by 2 points against the Detroit Pistons at the end of last week. For the Knicks, second game back home. They're coming off the loss to the Orlando Magic without Brunson. And it's the first leg of a back-to-back with the Washington Wizards on deck for tomorrow. So not a real look-ahead spot. They actually just smoked the Wizards about 2 weeks ago. Head to head, the Knicks do own the Houston Rockets as well. They've won 7 straight in the head-to-head matchup, and they've covered the last 3 as well. The line is moving in their favor. It's funny because when this line opened last night, and I think it's what I had written down on my sheet, the Rockets were actually laying 3.5. I'm sorry, the Knicks were laying 3.5. When I woke up this morning, the line had moved all the way to 5. Now you see this line all the way up to 6.5. So, and the total going up to me indicates that Brunson is probably going to play. I think the way I would look at this game is I would look at Houston team total to go under. The number is 107.5. When I checked earlier, it was minus 105 on BetMGM, and that was the best number that was available. I was kind of waiting to see what happened with Brunson. Either way, I like it. I think it's a good way to kind of stay off the spread. But if Brunson gets ruled in, the Knicks offense gets a lot better. If Brunson gets ruled out, then the Knicks offense gets a lot worse, which means they have to rely on their defense even more. And that's what we've been kind of seeing from this New York Knicks team. They just held the Memphis Grizzlies to like 94 points the other day. They held Orlando down as well. Neither team could really score in that spot. And I had some really, really strong trends for the under in this game overall. One of them was a team that is playing their 6th straight game on the road. They're road dogs, and their opponent win percentage is better than their win percentage in a non-conference game. And it's the end of a road trip. Those teams are 84, 49, and 5 to the under. That's a 63.2% trend that says that this game goes under. When you look at that spot and you also factor in that the total is less than the previous total, because we don't see totals this low in 2024, the trend actually gets a lot stronger for the Knicks. 71.2% of those games go under. So I do like the under 221.5, but I want to wait on the news for Brunson. And the stronger look, like I said, might be on Houston team total to go under 107.5 in this game. I'm not sure about player props at all. Not something that I really looked into for this game, but give me the under in the game. Still waiting on the Brunson news, but under is the way I would play this game. We know Houston probably just can't wait to get back home, but they also one of the slow-paced teams in the league. And the Knicks are also one of the slow-paced teams in the league over the last 5 games and over the season as well. Going back to that last game, Burns says he took the Cavs money line plus 145. That's definitely better value. I do think that if they're going to cover it, they're going to win the game outright. It won't be one of those games that come right down to it. Steven says, you're right. Sports Illustrated Sportsbook still have the Cavs plus 3.5. Appreciate that. That's why you get odds jam. So you always know, and you'll start to see the trends. When I come on the show and tell you guys that I'm looking at the screen all day long, I promise I'm not lying to you. I'm like literally standing at the screen. You just develop the trends and the patterns. You know who's going to lock the books up first, who's going to have the books wide open, and who not going to move the lines for the next 5 or 6 minutes. So definitely, check out OddsJam. Use code CBC to get 25% off your first month. And you can develop the same type of routines with your player props and your over-unders and everything else. Rockets team total under. Only one team has went over since the OG trade. That was the Dallas Mavericks in that game that Luka got ruled out. That is absolutely true. Sheen Lockhart says Bet365 has Cavs at -1 now. Yeah, they should win the game now. Giannis means a lot, a whole lot. What's up, Will? He says less cash. Smoky Steam Best says Rockets ready to get home. Road trip has been a disaster for them. I like the Knicks -6. I could not talk you off. I'm not laying points with the Knicks until Julius Randle is not at the head of that offense. He looked terrible trying to close that game the other day. So Jalen Brunson got to be in, but either way, I'll probably stay off the spread and just take the team total under. David says 270 watching, 77 likes. Hit the like button. And that is appreciated, man. 279 is what I see right now. And I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Definitely do me one solid favor. Hit the like button for me if you guys can. And let's keep going. Let's see. Burns, he says this game is a trap. If y'all see the line go down to -6 for the Knicks, take the Rockets plus 6.5. Okay. What else we thinking here? Tariq says he thinks that Brunson's gonna play. I think Brunson plays too. We'll see how it goes though. Call Me Aries says no Giannis means no rebounder. How about Jared Allen rebounds over? I think it's a solid look. I think it's a very solid look. He should feast. He's been killing too. I don't know if people been really paying attention to how good Jared Allen's been playing. With no Evan Mobley down there, this dude has been absolutely on fire. Just go check his box scores. Check his game logs. He's been killing. Jamie says Houston struggle with Detroit. I'm off them. That's a fact. Shadow says, what do you think about Bobby Portis rebounds without Giannis? He'll play big minutes in this spot, Shadow. I would look towards Bobby Portis points prop, probably his rebounds prop as well in this spot against Cleveland. I would agree there. Burn says Oz Jam is the ish. He knows. My guy's on Oz Jam as well. And Will, one more quick one before we get to the next one. Will says half a unit on Fred VanVleet for me over his 15.5. Historically, he balls in the Garden. Okay. So it sounds like Will's done his research. He likes Fred VanVleet to go over here. We got a few more games to get to. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 specifically. So next game up, we got Spurs and we got Celtics. So we just heard the news. I think, what did I say? Porzingis got ruled in. Porzingis got ruled out. Derek White got ruled out as well, right? Let me just double check it real quick. Make sure I'm giving you guys the most accurate information for people who don't have notifications turned on. So Drew Holiday is in. Derek White is out. So it looks like Sam Hauser's going to get the start with Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and Al Horford because Porzingis is also out. And you see the line move down. I would agree with the line movement coming down. First of all, if you've been watching the show, you've been following me for a while. It's really only time I think I've ever laid 16 points with a team is when I was playing the Aces over the summer sometime. And I think they won by like 25. But outside of that, I'm not into laying these big numbers. Also, looking at the Boston side, they got a big game coming up. We know that Denver's on this East Coast road trip, and they played Denver on Friday, which is probably why these guys are rested because they're going to take their game a lot more serious than they will this game. San Antonio was just in Atlanta on MLK Day, came out super flat, went down by 150 points almost in the first half before battling back and making that a game. Greg Popovich pulled the starters out. Didn't even start them in the second half. When they get back in, they absolutely go bananas. So this game to me lines up, especially with no Porzingis. It should be a big Victor Wembanyama type game. Also, this is something that I mentioned last week or 2 weeks ago. Whenever the Bucks played against the Spurs, whenever Victor Wembanyama plays against like either historic franchise or one of the better players in the league, he typically he gets up for those games. So I do think Spurs, and he's been playing a lot better overall. I do think Spurs plus the 15 is definitely the right play in this game. With Porzingis being ruled out and Derek White being Derek White being ruled out, this is a 3-point bonanza for the Boston Celtics. First of all, we know that they shoot the three really well. That's all they typically do is shoot a bunch of threes in the first place. And now you get one of the worst 3-point defenses in the league. I'm not sure who it's going to be, but either Sam Hauser, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, somebody's going to hit 4 or 5 threes in this game, but on the Boston Celtics side. So that's the way I'd be looking. Probably Tatum is how I would play it, but I couldn't talk anybody off Sam Hauser. You probably get the better value with Sam Hauser as well. So that's the way I'd be looking in this game. I'd definitely be taking the plus 15, not laying 15 with the Celtics without their guys, especially when they're already ruling guys out. They didn't even play yesterday. So that tells me they're not really serious about this game. They do have that winning streak going on at home where I think they're 18-0 at home. But like I said, they're not taking this game serious. They already beat San Antonio as well, beat the brakes off San Antonio just a few weeks ago. So it makes sense they're not taking this game super serious. But I'd be looking at Victor Wembanyama props, San Antonio plus the 15, especially with those guys being ruled out. The White says he likes Devin Vassell over 17.5. I would agree. Devin Vassell, he's a baller. He's definitely a baller. Taylor says Jokic might sit in that Boston game. I feel like that coach that passed away today was one of his developmental coaches back in Serbia. That would make sense. Taylor, I didn't know. I didn't put together that connection, but it makes a lot of sense. Definitely makes a lot of sense. Jamal says he likes Allen double-double. Has been a parlay piece the last 20 games. It's going to cost, though. Yeah, the odds of that probably like minus 250, minus 270. Okay, watch this. This might be the look. Peyton Pritchard. Maybe Peyton Pritchard be making threes low-key. Yeah, when one of those guards are out, Derek White being out, I definitely think it's a Peyton Pritchard type spot. And it's 19-0 are the Celtics. Shadow says Tatum 30. You think he plays full rotation? I do. Because I think San Antonio keep the game a little bit closer than what the line anticipates. So I do like Tatum for 30. The Stars will be Stars parlay will have Tatum at 30, and it also have Donovan Mitchell at 30. I think both of those guys go get 30 tonight in their respective spots. Also, Damian Lillard could potentially go for 30 now too, as well. Without Giannis, he know how to keys in his pocket for sure tonight. Taylor says, how do you feel about Spurs first half plus 9.5? I would agree. 10 points in the first half is a lot. Boston has been the best first half team in the league. San Antonio, sleptwalked through that first half last game. I think that they probably come out super motivated in this spot. I would lean Spurs plus 9.5 in the first half. Not playing it, but I would lean that way. Dante says Spurs plus 16, home favorites that were minus 14 or more and covered, and now the spread went up from the previous matchup this season. 3-8 straight up. That's a hell of a trend, Dante. Appreciate you sharing that. Jawan says, can you shout out Boogie? He's a big fan. I'm not sure who Boogie is, Jawan, but shout out to Boogie, whoever that is. If he's a big fan of me, appreciate that. Absolutely. I'm a fan of some guys as well myself. Kayak says, CAC React says Wemby 18 plus Spurs plus 19.5 is plus 100 on DraftKings. So you need Wemby to score 18 points or more, and the Spurs to not lose by 20, and you can get a plus 100 on DraftKings. That seems pretty safe. I would agree. And Fury Lee says, does Wemby rebound sound good? Yeah, they do. They absolutely do. If you think the Spurs going to play a little bit better defense and no Porzingis, I'm not sure who they're going to put on them. RC says he texted me. I'll check my text in a minute, RC. I'm about to get off. 3 more games to get through. So next game, we got Hornets and we got Pelicans in New Orleans. Really, really interesting, kind of funky spot for this New Orleans Pelicans team. I really wanted to get there, laying the 12 with them, especially with them coming off a loss in a game that they absolutely should have won. They lost to the Dallas Mavericks in the second game of that back-to-back series, which is interesting because they beat the Dallas Mavericks without their superstars. They didn't have Brandon Ingram, didn't have CJ McCollum, and didn't have Zion Williamson. They win. Then they rule all 3 guys in, and then they lose. And Luka doesn't play in either game. So I kind of wanted to get there with the Pelicans. It is a big number, and I don't really like the spot as much because this is their first game coming back home off the 5-game road trip. That bad loss to the Dallas team that I talked about on Monday. And they do got a really, really big game coming up against the Phoenix Suns on Friday as well. So potential look-ahead spot there. For Charlotte, 8 of their last 10 games have been played on the road, so not a spot that I necessarily want to take them in. 5 straight losses, 5 straight non-covers as well. I was reading about a players-only meeting that they had. Typically, that's a spot where you want to back a team. This Hornet team has been really, god-awful. And also, I think Brandon Miller, I'm not sure if he got ruled in or not. He was listed as questionable with a back injury. Typically, players don't play through back injuries. I don't think that he's missed more than 2 games in a row is what I was reading as well. But right now, I see him still as a toss-up to play. I'm not sure if they have enough offense, right? We think about Gordon Hayward still being out for this team. Bryce McGowan is also out. Mark Williams is not there. So it's Nick Richards and, Miles Bridges and LaMelo, who has looked pretty good, but they just haven't been able to kind of put it together, since that's happened. The Pelicans laying 12 is a pretty big number, but to me, it does seem pretty appropriate. I think if I'm playing the game, I'm taking the total. I'm looking at the total, and I think it goes under. I just don't know how motivated the Pelicans are going to be to score the ball on offense, but I do think that they can lock this Charlotte team up. Charlotte also should get a little bit better defensively, is what I'm thinking in this spot. Couple days off of rest. Pelicans also, one of the better defensive teams, probably want to flex their defensive muscle against one of the worst offensive teams in the league. So I think this one stays under the total. I like the under 229. Didn't quite get to the window with it, but if I'm playing a game, I am looking towards the under in this spot. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat, and we'll get to the next one. Brunson on track to play. Tibb says Brunson will play. Jalen Brunson on track. Appreciate y'all for sharing that. Justin likes the Hornets plus 12. And Brian says Hornets team total under. I think that team total was a little too low for me, which is why I kind of stayed off. And I do see the Knicks all the way up to 7 now, with Jalen Brunson being, back end, and God knows they need him. Let's see. What is the team total for the Charlotte Hornets? I'm pretty sure it's probably really low. Let's see. 108.5, 109 in some books. Yeah, I don't think they score 110 points tonight. I really, really don't. I don't think the Pelicans score 122 either. I think it's a slow pace type game. I know they got LaMelo back, but I would wait because Brandon Miller is pretty big, especially without Gordon Hayward being there. So those are my thoughts. Let's see. Two Millie likes LaMelo points, rebounds, and assists. What number did you get, Two Millie? I'm interested. Michael says Hornets team total under does sound nice. I would agree. I think that's probably the better look in this game for me. Let's move on. Let's go Mavs and Lakers. My LA Lakers actually opened as 2.5-point home favorites in this spot. And you see the line actually moving with the Lakers, which is crazy. We do got injury implications in this game. Luka, who hasn't played the last couple games, is listed as questionable with Derrick Jones Jr. as well. Dante Exum remains out. For the Lakers, Cam Reddish is listed as questionable. LeBron James and Anthony Davis always on the injury report. So pretty sure those guys are going to play, especially with the Lakers being just 20-21 on the season. This Dallas team is 24-17, and they've actually been playing some really good basketball as of late. But this is the first road game after 7 straight home games. Typically a spot you want to fade him in. Luka coming back, I feel like could potentially throw the offense off just a tad bit because Kyrie's been, the guy. He's coming off a 30-plus point game against the New Orleans Pelicans, just the other day as well. For the Lakers, second straight home game. And one of the things I liked about the Lakers is they actually played their playoff roster starters starting rotation last week in that last game against OKC, and they were able to hold OKC to 105 points in that spot. I do think that this being a double revenge spot kind of favors the Lakers as well. They lost on November 22nd. It was 104-101 in LA, and they were 1-point favorites in that spot. And then right after the in-season tournament victory, they lost 127-125 in Dallas on December the 12th. They were 3-point dogs after the in-season tournament in that game. So I think, with the line moving in favor of the Lakers, I'm typically not betting Laker games, and this is one I'll probably wait and think about. I think you get a much better line when Luka gets ruled in for the Lakers because you don't want to really necessarily take them as as home favorites laying any points. Typically a spot you want to fade the Lakers in. They've not been profitable. And I want to say the Dallas Mavericks are one of the more profitable teams against the spread as dogs this season. Real quick, let me just check that real quick. Mavs away dogs this season. They are so the 8-2 is a favorite. They're actually only just 3-6 straight up and 4-5 against the number as road dogs. They've losing by an average of 7 points. They have covered 3 in a row in this spot though, as a road dog specifically. So I think the Lakers kind of need to build off that momentum in the last game. I think this is a winnable game for the Lakers. Like I said, if I'm playing a game, I'm waiting until Luka gets ruled in. This game, of course, it is an early game, 8:40. Why is it 8:40? It's an 8:40 game in LA, and that doesn't make a lot of sense. 8:40 in LA, 8:40 Eastern time in LA. So we'll get the news for Luka early. You don't have to wait too long for that. When Luka gets ruled in, which I do anticipate him to play, I think that's when you take the Lakers. All the money, it looks like to me, 77% of the money is on Dallas, but the spread moving in favor of the Lakers. I don't usually back my team, but I do think it's a Lakers spot today. So those are my thoughts on this game. Let's see. Okay, watch this. Says Charlotte ain't scored over 105 in like 2 weeks. 2 Millie says he got LaMelo points, rebounds, and assists at 34.5. Shadow says, can you guys find any Kyrie props in the US? I don't have any available on any books in my country. And that's probably, I didn't check Shadow, but that's probably because they're waiting for the Luka news. Like, it's kind of hard to set Kyrie numbers unless Luka is in or out. Smoky Steam says all the injury-related lines moves the Mavs line have been dead wrong lately, waiting for Luka to be ruled in, and I'm taking the Lakers. I would agree. That's my thought process as well. It says a scrappy slate. I would agree with that as well, Tariq. I would agree with that as well. Okay. David says, can you imagine someone still working and trying to get to the game in LA traffic? Yeah, I could not imagine that. That is crazy. S. says risky, but they should cover. They should cover it. Raptors defense is officially long gone. Heat's offense of efficiency when Jimmy is on the lineup is through the roof. Scott Foster special tonight, says Kenneth Crosby, and I would agree. I did see that Scott Foster was going to be reffing that game for the Lakers as well. All right, so Lakers. It will be Lakers for me. Like I said, I'm waiting to get a better number. Standoff player props. And let's get to the last game of the night, which is not really the greatest game. But I do kind of got an angle in this one. And I'm probably not going to bet it. Even if I do bet it, it'll be probably a small play, personal play. Not sure if I'll give it out. So we got the Nets and the Blazers. This line actually opened last night. It was Blazers plus 4.5. It's gone up now to 6.5. The total come down from 224.5 down to 221.5. So big money coming in on under, which makes sense. Brooklyn hasn't been able to score recently. Portland, also one of the worst offensive teams in the league as well. For Portland, Shaedon Sharpe, I think, is still out. He's going to be out, I think, reevaluated in like the next 2 weeks. But Anthony Simons is actually listed as questionable. He got upgraded to questionable. Brogdon, Jeremy Grant, and Matisse Thybulle all listed as questionable as well. I don't like the spot right here for Brooklyn as much. I think I would have to be taking the points with the Blazers, keeping in mind that head-to-head these two teams did just play. And Brooklyn did lose that game. They lost 134 to 127 in overtime. They were actually laying 9.5 points at home right before they went to London to play against the Cleveland Cavaliers. That game went over to 226 as well. So looking at Brooklyn, this team has been absolutely terrible. I know Portland has been bad, but Brooklyn 1-8-1 against the spread in their last 10. I mean, you can't have too much of a worse record than that. They're off the loss against Miami. First game of a 3-game West Coast road trip, so it could be one of those sleepy spots where they just kind of run out of gas late, being that it's their first game on the West Coast. And I don't think that makes for a good spot. They also just 6-13 straight up on the road, 7-11 against the spread, so they haven't been profitable either way, winning games or laying points. Portland, they're just 3-7 ATS in their last 10, and 2-8 straight up. But this is their second game of a 3-game homestand. They did cover against Phoenix the other day as 14-point home dogs in that spot as well. So if I had to play this game, man, I would be taking the points with Portland. I know that, probably not going to be, anybody's top play or top game to watch. A lot of people probably won't even tune into this game. But I think Portland plus the points to the right side. I'm not laying 7 with Brooklyn in their current form to anybody, or 6.5. 6.5 is literally 7. So they would need to win this game by 7. I think if I'm getting 6.5 with Portland, they can keep it. I think they can keep it respectable within the 6.5, within the 7. So those are my thoughts on this last game. Let's see what y'all are saying here. Shadow says, you think Mavs double team Anthony Davis? He killed them in their last matchup. Did Derek Lively play, Shadow? I think they might try to give Derek Lively a run. Like, let him, do his thing. Tasha said their last game is trash. First game on the East Coast, Chris, not the second. For who? First game equals no jet lag. Is this it? Where is this game played at? No, this game's on the West Coast, RZ. This game is played in Portland, right? So it's first game on the East Coast, Chris. First game on the West Coast. 77 figures says Orlando plus 4. Hawks let every team in the NBA hang around. I agree with that, but I do like Atlanta tonight. First time I think all season, I may end up putting something on Orlando tonight. And that's what we got. Y'all drop your best bets in the comment section for me. Just interested to see what everybody is on. Also hit the like button for me if you guys can as well. Let's get into top looks on the board for me today. So if I'm playing, and I haven't, the only thing I played was Cavs plus 3.5, which we just kind of talked about when the news broke with Giannis. Like I said, I'm going to wait till the last minute to, 15, 20 minutes to put these bets in. But the way I would play today's slate, I would be looking at, so first game, Cavs and Bucks, we talked about that one. Heat and Raptors, I just feel like the Heat are going to be able to score the ball at will. I would look at their team total to go over 113, over 114.5. I think that's the safest way to play it. Stay away from the spread, but I do think that the Heat are 4 points. The Heat's roster that they have today, I think is 4 points better than the Raptors roster that they have today. Also, bad travel spot for the Raptors, even though it is their second game back home. Magic and the Hawks. Hawks minus 4. I know the line is not, it's crazy to think, take the Hawks minus anything, but I do think the Hawks are the right side in this game. Rockets and Knicks, that line moved to 7. It would be the team total under for the Houston Rockets for me. Under 107.5 is the only way I would play that. Spurs and Celtics, Spurs plus 15 in that game. And I will be looking at Victor Wembanyama props. I think that he has a big game, especially with Porzingis being ruled out. Hornets and Pelicans, I'm looking towards the under, 229.5. Haven't played it, but that would be my best look there. And then Lakers, minus the whatever the number is when Luka gets ruled in, probably going to end up maybe even if it's not a full unit. Don't really trust the Lakers too much at home, but I do love that lineup. And I watched that game against OKC the other day. So that's the way I play that. And then lastly, I'd be on the Blazers plus 6.5. I think the Blazers plus 6.5 is the right look in this game. Blazers plus 6.5 against the Nets today. Let's see what you guys have in the comment section. We can look at best bets. And then if you guys got looks, send me a request on Twitter. Hopefully the mic is working, the volume is working, and you guys can actually hear the conversation. Let's see what we got real quick. Let's see. Vaughn said he doesn't like the card a lot at all. David says, Chris, FanDuel has a 50% boost on any bet today. What would you use it on? I'm feeling Lakers money line. Yeah, I'd probably use it on the Lakers money line. But David, if you want the Lakers money line, wait until Luka gets rolled in. Then you get way better value on that money line. Because the money line right now is probably like minus 160, minus 165, with the spread being like minus 4, might be even minus 170. But I would take the I'm gonna actually look at that. I never look at those promotions and boosts and stuff. I probably should. 77 figure says Heat top play for him. UCapper says, remember what Coach Ham said. When they travel cross country, they feel the jet lag on the second game. That is true. So fade the Brooklyn Nets against whoever they play next. And I want to say they got the back-to-back with the Lakers and the Clippers coming up. I want to say that's a part of the road trip. Estes says, okay, watch. I can't see it. Lowry is going to try to make himself valuable again, with Rozier saying he wants Miami. I didn't even see that. Tasha says her best bets are the Hawks first half minus 2.5 and Miami first half. So riding with some good trends there that have been cashing. David says he likes Paolo over 23.5 points today. I like that one a lot, David, as well. Paolo should go crazy today. Definitely in a plus matchup against the Atlanta Hawks tonight. Shadow says Scotty Barnes points, rebounds, and assists over for him. Big Nate likes Larry Nance Jr. over 12.5 points plus rebounds. And let's see. Steven says fade Nets the whole road trip. That's a fact. I don't think you would be. I think you'd be profitable if you bet against the Nets on this whole road trip. I could be wrong though. Let's see how it goes, man. Best of luck to everybody tonight. Let's go to Twitter real quick and see what the guys are liking. We got Flo up first, and then I'm coming to Dream, and then Stem as well. We got a Stemmy loading as well. What's up, Flo? Talk to me. How you doing, my brother?
I'm doing excellent. How we feeling?
I'm good, bro. I'm good, man. We got a big slate. A lot of ways to make some money tonight, Flo. Tell the people how they can get paid today.
I hope I can get you paid. So it's always trying to get paid.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
So obviously Brunson being back, it doesn't sound like he's 100% or maybe even 90%, which kind of scares me. Like I had this like fired up, I'll give it out, but I would take the other players first over this one. But like I took his points at 26.5. This has just been a terrible Rockets defense. It's given up 120 points in 4 of the last 5 games. Ime Udoka has said in multiple press conferences, I was reading about it, he was talking about their effort is terrible. Like the beat reporters have actually joked, like they've heard this every game. The effort is terrible. So the Rockets have been it's like a tale of 2 seasons with the Rockets. Like they were good defensive teams, but since January 1st, 10th quickest pace, 11th worst defense, allowing the 6th most threes, and lead scorers are going crazy against them. So 26.5 points, first game back with Brunson. He could be rusty, he could be nursing that calf, but I just think there was a guy that before the injury, like he was getting like that 28.5 line. He was kind of crushing it. Usage is going to be sky high. So I went with that. Always Julius Randle, over 4.5 assists. I'm always taking it every time it's a bad defense, somewhat fast paced. That's just automatic for me. My favorite play today is Dante, 3 threes, plus the Knicks money line at Caesars. I think the Knicks win. It's a sneaky spot where they kind of got to win this game. It's like, you can't lose like 3 or 4 and kind of go down the standings heading into the All-Star break. So I got plus 140 on Caesars on that. There's the 6th game on the road with the Rockets, as you mentioned, but also they're allowing the 6th most threes in January. And if you just like go back since like January 1st, like I think the number's 12 of the last 15 guards that they played have come through threes line. Dante, since the trade, he's 6 of 9, but he's getting upwards of 8-9 attempts a game. So I always say like same thing, like with that guy, like usage is going to be so sky high. Like if it's 2.5, like you could take the 2.5. I think it's felt like minus 135 on DK, but I'm just a Knicks homer. I think they're going to win tonight, so I just put it with the money line. And oh man, I buried the lead here. Narrative alert is Isaiah Hardenstein's rebounds at 10. It was at 10.5 minus 130. But if you force me to, I would take it at 11.5. He's been crushing his numbers on the glass. This isn't a particularly amazing matchup. Like it's a solid matchup, not a great one. But basically, the other day he announced with him and his wife that they're expecting their firstborn. They had like a whole photo shoot at Madison Square Garden. He started off his whole career with the Houston Rockets. The Rockets come into town. And it's also the fact that, his firstborn against the Rockets, and he's over, I want to say, 14 rebounds in like 4 of his last 5. Like last game, I want to say he had 12, but he had 5 fouls, only played 29 minutes. So I just love like stupid things like that. When you have a guy that's expected firstborn and he's playing the team, he broke into the league. Oh yeah, there was this whole article in the Post about how he met his wife on FaceTime when he was on the Rockets. So I'm like, man, say less. I'm in.
Okay.
I'm in for narratives. I'm in. So
okay.
I did that. And I got some long shots on my page. So just to recap real quick, I like Brunson's points, Randall's dimes, Dante 3 threes in the win, and hopefully Isaiah Hardenstein grabs a lot of rebounds. So that's what I got.
Okay. Hey, Flo got the looks, man. Definitely check out his page if you guys haven't already. He's a Knicks insider for sure. And, he's been cashing too. Definitely been cashing. So shout out to Flo. Appreciate you as always, my brother. Best of luck tonight. I might get there with that team total under. I do see it going up like I kind of anticipated. I see a minus a Rockets team total under 108.5 look like on Caesars is minus 120. I was looking at that while Flo was speaking. So love the looks from Flo. Best of luck to Flo. And let's go Dream. Dream, what's going on, my brother? Talk to me.
Cigars, my guy. You?
I'm good, bro. I'm good, man. How you been doing?
I can't complain, man. Could be better, could be worse. Is what it is, man. But yeah. Got a collab with my guy Stimmy that I want to give to y'all. We whipped this up, really like it a lot. So, might as well give it to y'all. Pause. Larry Nance Jr. For the New Orleans Pelicans to get 12 points plus 500 on DraftKings. Like it a lot. He's over this number his last 3 games. He's got 13, 14, and 14. More importantly, he's going against the Hornets, who will give up the most points. Well, not the most, but they give up a bunch of points to centers and rebounds. So he should get some putback opportunities, obviously, get some lobs, get some bounce pass, dunks, all that. Good opportunities. And the fact that Nick Richards, the starting center from the Hornets, is actually starting. I mean, he's the backup center, but he's starting now. He's been starting since Mark Williams been out for like a month. And their backup is like JT Thor, some other Knicks that I don't even know. So, Larry Nance should be able to do his thing. So we got him at 12 points plus 500. And then we added, just to make it even spicier, we added 2 steals to that to make it a plus 1,400. I love the spot for Larry Nance to get steals for sure. We love the spot for Larry Nance to get steals. He's got 2 or more steals in his last 4 games. He's got 3 in one of those games, actually 3 last game. His minutes are pretty consistent, getting, about 17 to 22 every night. Man, if you know anything about my guy LaMelo Main LaFleur, you're going to try and throw some lobs, you're going to try and throw some bullshit up there. And you got Terry Rozier with him now, so, double steal opportunities. They're going to be picking off lobs and all kind of shit. So, Larry Nance Jr., center / power forward for the Pelicans to get 12 points plus 500, and then put 2 steals with that on DraftKings, so plus 1,400. Like it a lot.
Okay. Absolutely. Dream. Appreciate you sharing the look, man. Hey, so I mean, Dream and Stem, I mean, they're amazing. If you guys don't know already, finding these super advantageous matchups with a lot of value. A lot of value. I'm over here digging for minus 110s. They're over here digging for plus 4,000. So Shout out to those guys, man, because they definitely be cashing them as well. Dream definitely got a, for people who don't know, Dream got his own show as well. Definitely check out Dream. Shoot him a follow. Definitely subscribe to his YouTube page, to his YouTube page, and follow him on Twitter if you guys haven't already. Also, that's it. That's all I got. Like I said, top looks for me today. What I got written down on my short list. Only thing I bet was the Cavs plus the 3.5 when Giannis got ruled out. I was gonna play it either way, but at +4. But Miami, I like Miami team total over. I like Houston team total under. I like Charlotte, New Orleans under. Do lean towards the Lakers, but want to get a much better number. And if I'm putting out any kind of like lotto, like small lotto today, it's going to be like Tatum to score 30, Donovan Mitchell to score 30, and Trae Young to go over whatever his assist prop is. I think those are the 3 player props that I probably like the most. That would be it. Shadow says stars will be stars probably. Those are the 3 guys that I absolutely like the most. Now it could change because we could get get news about people being in or people being out, but that's the way I would kind of play today. And that's the show. Let's go back to Flo real quick because I see his hands up. What's up, Flo?
I already locked the play. I should have consulted with you first.
No. You don't consult with me, bro. You know how to do this too. What's up?
Hey, you're the expert, man. You see these jokers every night. Who's the dude on the Mavericks who's smacking those 3 and 4 threes? There's always one, and most times it's 2. Like, who's the dude?
Bruh, so let's see. So I guess it kind of depends. So Derrick Jones Jr. is listed as questionable right now. He's likely to play. Luka comes back. I think Tim Hardaway Jr. has a really strong track record against the Lakers. I know he's coming off like a really, really good game. And typically I don't like playing on role players when they, coming off a really good game. But I think it's probably Tim Hardaway Jr. What did he have the other day? He had
it was ridiculous.
Yeah, he had like
9 threes or some stupid.
Yeah, it was something crazy. He had 41 and hit 9 threes, like you said. So Luka coming back, it's gonna limit his it's not gonna limit him shooting the ball. It's just gonna limit the amount of usage that he has for putting the ball on the floor. So it could definitely be Luka. Luka's gonna draw the double team. Or I don't even think Luka's gonna draw the double team. I think Luka just Luka. Like he's seen every defensive coverage. They're gonna put Jared Vanderbilt on him. I know that for sure. But I would say Tim Hardaway Jr. Tim Hardaway Jr., Kyrie.
My only other look was could it be Grant Williams? But
I was about to say Grant Williams too. That would be the only other guy. He's so streaky, man. So streaky.
He's so annoying like a player too.
I would say that he has a chance for increased minutes tonight, Flo, just because they're gonna need somebody to stay in front of LeBron. Like when I'm thinking Tim Hardaway Jr. in the last couple games that we've matched up with them has been the guy that's been guarding LeBron. But Tim Hardaway Jr. also is giving up. He's still giving up some a few pounds. So I think if Grant Williams is effective defensively, he could potentially get those minutes over somebody like Derrick Jones Jr. or somebody like Tim Hardaway Jr. Especially if he's knocking a few shots. So he's probably the long shot, but the Lakers defense has been bad from 3-point line. I will give you that for sure.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Absolutely. McLean says, real quick, Chris, what are you thinking about the Lakers game? Lakers cover tonight? I think so, McLean. Like I talked about it. I think the Lakers covered, but if you like the Lakers, wait until the last possible minute, or at least until Luka gets ruled in. Let the money come in on the Mavs. Double revenge spot here for the Lakers, and they do have that new lineup. I like this lineup for the Lakers. I like it a lot, and I would only be laying the points with the Lakers tonight, but hopefully that line comes down to about 2.5 with Luka being ruled in, and then you take the Lakers because then you get a much better line. Lakers laying points at home, not been profitable so far, but he could, they could definitely turn up in this spot, especially off the double revenge. So yeah, hopefully, I hope everybody cash their bets tonight. Best of luck to whatever you guys absolutely love. I will go through and finalize my card, drop some plays in the YouTube chat. If you guys are interested in becoming a member, it's $5.99 a month for all my official plays. We are on a little bit of a heater. I think we've won like 7 of our last 9. It's been a pretty good week, especially with the little 2-leg money parlays, which I got another one that I want to throw in today as well. So if you guys want to join, that'd be great. If not, that's cool too. But best of luck on whatever it is that you guys do play. We'll be back tomorrow as always to talk through that slate. And shout out to all my contributors, Dream, Flo. I know Stemman requested up, but he probably dropped back down when Dream requested up because they got the collab. But Shout out to everybody who always contribute. Definitely hit the like button for me on your way out. And best of luck on all your action today, man. I'm out.